You know what else is
Yeah.
rough?
What's that?
The ins and outs of Riot Games.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
that's how you
You're good at this. I like your
segue.
segues. You're good.
Yeah. Uh, so we probably make this quick because like there's nothing more we can add on to what's already been known. That
Well, I
right.
don't know anything about this,
Oh,
so
okay. All right. So I would try to explain to you the best I can because this is long overdue. Riot Games have been known for a long
what?
time
Remind me
now.
what games they make.
League of Legends.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
All these years, that's all they made. League of Legends.
I thought they were like, well, League of Legends has a lot of fucking shitty people playing that game. But I thought I remember Riot Games being one of these more politically correct type
far
companies.
far from it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, these I hate to say it, but these are like the stereotypical dude bro douches. Those are the kind of guys
Yeah.
who that you would see in probably like a Ben Wilder movie.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of guys who's running Riot Games. Like they sexually harass not only female employees but male employees too. Apparently, so they harass men and women. They haze their employees.
Like some of that stuff, I don't. That doesn't bother me. Like some of the like.
Right, it doesn't
Like
bother you, but like I can understand. It's like, dude, I'm just here to make video games
yes.
and all this cool stuff. I'm not here. This isn't college anymore,
Yeah,
dude.
you're in a job. This
Yeah.
is a job. Like what I was gonna say is like here I don't know how there's a company at least here in Michigan called Gordon Foods, and I think that it's a nationwide company. My friend used to work for this Gordon Foods, and the thing that people would do is the guys would go around and like like if you're walking down the hallway and you're going one way and that someone's coming the other way, is you would like reach down and like just do a little flap and tap the nuts.
No, little nut taps. Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
they do that at Riot Games too. Like I said, they harass the
See, like,
guys. Yeah,
on one hand, I'm like, that's so innocent, but on the other hand, it's like this is work. This isn't you sitting around with your friends,
right.
like doing that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
like these are bosses and heads of, and you're like, don't you
yeah,
have
and
better?
like,
Don't you have a meeting or something?
I mean, if you're good friends with the people doing this stuff, I mean, okay, first of all, if this is like the bosses and heads doing it to each other, big fucking deal.
Right.
No one cares. But once you're doing it as a boss to an employee, whether you're friends with them or not, you are crossing a line.
Yeah,
Like it's all crossing a line no matter what. I just want to be very clear of my position on this. But if like two CEO type people or whatever
It's
are
Adventure
good
Time.
friends that hang out and go paintballing and surfing and dude broing stuff, and they do this type of shit to each other, no one's gonna give a fuck.
right.
But even if you are this way with as a CEO to a lower employee that you're friends with, you're still crossing more of a line doing this kind of stuff with that person because they are not at all in a position of equal to you or anything like that.
Right. Like if they retaliate, you can easily like, oh, this guy, he did this to the boss, so they're gonna fire him or whatever. It really does seem more like a power move. Like they remind people of their positions. Like you don't have to do that. Or it just these guys are just flat out stupid and they think, oh, we own our own business and all this. Dude, we can do whatever we want. Which you can't.
Yeah.
And then they've come to the point to where they actually have forced employees not to report any harassment. Like they have to go to they have to do it inside Riot Games where it's already corrupt, where they're already getting covered up. So employees could not come out and talk about this with law enforcement or anything, or else termination of contract or whatever if they couldn't prove anything, which they will probably cover up. And Riot Games, I think it was like last year or something, they were like, yeah, because a female employee actually came out and blew the whistle on what they were doing, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna change our ways, we're gonna change policies and do this and that. It's like, dude, if your policy needs to be changed for something like that, you didn't have a policy in place in the first place.
Yeah,
Like,
like this. I mean, like, what do you mean? How do you not?
yeah, what
Like,
policies do you need?
like Jesus Christ, this is just common fucking sense law.
Yeah, don't harass anybody, don't hit anybody, don't
Yeah,
assault anybody. It's like that should be
like
simple stuff.
I
But
mean, oh, okay, like see, and like, and here's the thing too. Like, this is where I'm not, like this idea of like I don't like this movement. I don't like this concept of like you can't be flirtatious with people that you work with and stuff. Like, who knows? Like if you get a single woman and a single dude and like maybe they'll be able to hit it off or something like that by being flirtatious with each other and make a relationship out of it and go on and get married and have kids. Who knows? I'm totally fine with that stuff. I don't like this idea of people should be scared to be like, I don't want to say anything at all to this person because she might fucking say that I sexually harassed her when I didn't mean it that way or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, but on the other hand, you can't just like this. This isn't 1954 where you can just go slap someone on the ass because you think they did a good job.
yeah, right. Yeah, and apparently the bosses they would fart on people and
That's just so ridiculous.
yeah, and they would make
Like, you shouldn't be fucking farting on your fucking employees, but at the same time, it's just like it's just so fucking ridiculous and childish.
it makes no sense. You would think that a business of any kind, small or big, would avoid doing stuff like that. Like, who wakes up in the morning and is like, oh, yo, Tom did such a great job on that level yesterday. I'm gonna eat these baked beans and fart on them. Like, what? What? Yeah, why? What makes you think that's gonna make people want to stay? Like, that makes no sense.
I would not. I would be. I mean,
And
I'd be pissed if someone fucking farted on me.
yeah, and Riot Games have had plenty of people quit, and they hire plenty of people back on, and it's a back and forth, and with this whole crunch time and other parts of the industry and people calling for unions, Riot Games have no room to do any of this stupid crap, and yet they continue. Riot Games just earlier this week of this recording, they had, I believe, like 150 employees or something like that walk out. Like, it's gotten so bad, these people aren't afraid of losing their jobs anymore. They just walked out and held a protest. And of course, Riot Games, the company, hasn't said anything about it as of now. And and the only thing they really said was how they're going to change the policies and how employees can opt out of their inner workship of reporting harassment inside of Riot. But the problem with that is that only applies to newer employees. So the older ones are locked into the same old policy that they swore they're going to change. So Riot Games just screwing over all kinds of people. It's
This is like really insane to me.
Yeah, I don't understand why any of this came about. Like, at first, I thought it was gonna be another problem with crunch time and all this stuff. No. One employee, she complained about the boss hitting on her, despite the point that she made it very clear that she didn't want anything to do with him. One lady, she actually reported within Riot Games, and they pretty much swept it under the rug. And the guy who she complained about, I think he moved up and got promoted to something else. So now they give him even more power. It's a real dude bro company. Like, I don't think they have any female leadership and anything. The art, the programming, the testing, none of that. Like, they purposely hire only the men for that. Because there's one woman, she had worked at Riot Games for a while, like a long time, and somebody less experienced, and I say less experienced because she knows the in and outs of Riot, of what they're looking for and how they work and how they operate. Instead, they promoted somebody who had significantly less time than her and less experience than her. And one female employee even said that despite the point that she requested multiple times for a lead role with some of the man, what was she doing?
I mean, that stuff I don't really care about. Like, if they pick someone out, whether they're newer or not, I don't care. I mean, if
I do, if I put all that time and all that effort and all that passion,
yeah. If I was there, I would want to know why. But if it comes down to that, they actually believe that this person is better for that role or something, then so be it. Like
right. But we know when it comes to Riot Games, that wasn't the reason. They hired him specifically because he's male.
We don't know that. I mean, that is complete speculation. We don't know. We don't know that.
I mean, a company known for sexual attention, being sexist, just downright sexist towards female employees. Yeah, I think it's safe. I'm still going to say assume, but I'm sure it's safe to assume that that's the reason why. They just don't.
You can assume that. Like, sure. I mean, I probably would assume that too. But me personally, I'm the type of person that's like, without any evidence of anything showing that that's what they're doing, then I mean, it's
right. And that's why I'm going by their history of sexual harassment and the way they treat specifically female employees right now, because they treat all their employees like garbage, whether they're male or female. But I'm going by specifically how they treat the females and how they talk to them and how they actually act towards them. For me, that's evidence. That's like, you can't debate that.
Clearly, like, okay, I mean, like,
no, that's why I still say
if
assume.
This stuff is true,
right. That's why I still say assume, because
I mean, going by these articles that I'm kind of skimming over, like, I don't know if it doesn't. None of this to me like proves for sure that this is how they run things. It just seems like that. There's quotes here. Like I'm hard pressed to deny an actual quote for someone, like, because otherwise that'd be slander or whatever. Like, I don't know where I was going with that, other than like there is the possibility none of this is even true.
Right.
But even like, if the CEO, this Brandon Beck, was like, no, it's untrue and extremely gay. Like, the fact that you're referring to it as extremely gay is like, as much as I don't like, I've said before, like, I don't give a shit about using that kind of terminology to mean something's like bullshit or sucks or whatever. Like, that using that terminology leads me to believe true. Like this, you know.
Yeah, you just pretty much everybody's like, what? This is bullshit. That's gay. It's like, hey man, you just told it was bullshit, but you like instantly went back into what we were talking about.
That alone is so unprofessional. That's not like, this is not how you like come out. You like, clearly you didn't have a fucking lawyer go over like some kind of note or something for you to say like, these accusations are unfounded and blah blah. You know, all those legal jumbled jargon words and stuff like that. No, you came out and said it's untrue and extremely gay. It's like,
still the gay. What? Still the gay, bruh. That's not me, bruh.
And then he went and cupped a fart into his hand and smelled his own fart. Like
jeez. But hey, people still they're still gonna go, oh well, when's that next League of Legends update coming out?
Yeah, fuck League of Legends. I mean, that's like, god damn. Everyone in League of Legends is a fucking asshole anyway. Like, so it's
very toxic. I tried playing and I was like, phew, I feel bad. I've even watched a friend who's actually good at League of Legends, and man, you mess up one time, your whole team swears you're the reason they're losing. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm not playing this garbage. So I couldn't get into League of Legends, and the community definitely sold me on not playing it. But
I mean, man, to be fair now, what is fun about the community being really shitty people is I used to love going in. I still don't know how to play the game, but that's the fun is you go in there and you fuck it all up for everyone else, and they're like, fucking retard, fucking asshole. And it's like, oh my god, this is so easy to troll them.
So it's a troll's paradise. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was always a lot of fun to anger these people.
Oh man, yeah, but so that's probably why the community, for the most part, I'm not saying all of them, because there are plenty of League of Legends I'm not gonna say fanatics, players who are genuinely upset about this. But you know, you get those, you still get those loud feels like, okay, Han, it's business. Don't be a pussy about it. It's like, no, dude. If anybody did that to me, like, I don't care who you are. That's not cool. Like when I was like when me and Buzz are hanging out. Yeah, sometimes we do the whole nut tap and you know fart in the room that everybody's closed into. But you don't just, hey man, here's your paycheck. Oh, by the way, let me cup this fart real quick and throw it in your face.
Yeah, I mean, what? It's so to me, it's like it's so childish. Who cares? But at the same time, I am a person that doesn't get offended by anything at all, ever. Nothing offends me. But if someone was to fucking fart on me, I don't know if I wouldn't punch them.
See, and that's the thing, man. I don't know how any of these people have not gotten a case on them. Like I know the gaming industry is tough. Yeah. It's tough to get into, and when you get in, but it's tough to stay in. You
have a HR department,
which
you still have the law. You know, like you cannot sexually harass someone no matter what.
Yeah, and.
I mean, that's the thing where, like, that's where I don't like all this stuff where it's like, oh, it's sexist, they were sexually harassing me. It's like, then why didn't you go to HR? Why didn't you call a lawyer? Like, I have a hard time believing people when they say I was sexually harassed at my job. But then when you ask them about stuff about going to HR about it and anything when you ask them about going through the proper steps that you should go through of when that stuff is supposedly happening to you, and then they're just like, you're victim blaming me, and it's like, you are not making a case for this actually happening to you.
Yeah. And it's only gotten worse because I think people are not, well, when I say people, I think like executives and CEOs and all that stuff. I think they're using that to their advantage because now you're seeing stories of people who do go to HR, male and female, and they get told, "We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Grow thicker skin. You'll be okay."
That's when you call a fucking lawyer. Like yeah. if I was to go to my if I work somewhere and I was getting whatever, I mean, it doesn't even have to be sexual harassment. I mean, anything that you don't want people saying or doing to you. And I go to human resources and I say, hey, they're doing whatever and I don't like it. I want them to stop. And they say grow a thicker skin. I'd be like, I'm calling a lawyer.
Yeah, and that stuff takes forever. And I think that's why a lot of this stuff, because recently I saw a report of somebody who did who did all those things, and it took months of. And you see, that's the thing. Like when it does happen, the big corporations, they're able to hide it away from people. And I think it's something with this one probably. Lady. Yeah, the thing, it doesn't help that she was actually like part of news journalism. They swept it on the rug for so long. It took months of litigation, not litigation, but courtroom lawyer antics. Stuff. Yeah, just months of nonsense. And part of the deal was she was not allowed to talk about the case.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like
and it happened, and I think that's a problem. It happens so often, and these corporations keep it under the rug so much that when the few people who do come out and say something, you're like, well, why'd you do this and that? And they can't say I did and this happened and that happened, because guess what? You say something, you're going right back to court, but not the way you want to.
Yeah, see, then that's the thing too. Is like I don't know how exactly that works, but like if they're coming out and saying this stuff happened, and you say, why didn't you go to HR and stuff? Like they've already came out and said this stuff happens. They're already coming out. Like I would assume if they're told that they can't talk about this stuff, that means they can't talk about it at all. That means that they can't go on Twitter and be like, I was sexually harassed at work. You know, they can't do that at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Like, so if they're at least going to that point of going out and saying stuff, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or news media or whatever, then I can't imagine where there's like some other line where like the court was like, all right, you can go out and talk about this, but if someone asked you, why didn't you go to HR? You can't talk about that. You can't talk about that stuff.
And that's the thing. A lot of these corporations, they actually have that now. It's called oh man, actually hold on, force of something.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, it's part of their employee contract. Some aberration or something like that. Man, I can't remember the name of it.
I have no idea. I know object, withdrawn,
Yeah,
sustained. I know the movie terms.
the simple everyday terms for those things.
Yeah, everything. I know
There it
the
is.
terms that you hear in TV shows and movies.
Yeah, force arbitration, which I'm gonna have to look this up now because I don't know what that means. I'm gonna learn a
No, I
new.
don't know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
learn a
like
new
you're
word
speaking
today.
the language would be forced arbitration. I don't even
Yeah,
know what the word arbitration means, let alone a forced version of it.
yeah. In forced arbitration, a company requires a consumer or employee to submit any dispute that may arise in binding arbitration as a condition of employment or buying a product or service. Okay, so in other words, once you sign a contract saying that I want to work here and I'm hired, you're pretty much saying you're not allowed to do any lawsuits, go to the police or any of that. The employer or consumer is required to waive their right to sue, to participate in a class action lawsuit, or to appeal. Jesus, and this is legal?
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds weird. Like I can't imagine you're not allowed to do, like I mean maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe it's like you can't just out of
No.
the blue sue them and make stuff up. Like you have to maybe you have to go through the rigmarole to HR having proof and evidence and stuff like that. And if they don't do anything, then you can go to like authorities or something like that, and whatever. Like I want to assume that like this terminology that you're bringing up is like you can't just get hired into a job 6 months and be like, that guy over there touched my ass.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
suing you for millions of dollars.
Okay.
Like I
So
want to say that's what it's
all
to
right.
protect from.
So here's a reading from the American Association of Justice. Hidden in a fine print of many consumer contracts, from credit cards to cell phone contracts to nursing home care and employee contracts, are dangerous arbitration clauses. Consumers and employees are often forced to sign these clauses in order to receive services or get hired, or often don't know they signed away their legal rights until it's too late. In the event of a dispute with a corporation, forced arbitration says that a consumer or an employee cannot take their case to court, but instead has to go to a private arbitration forum designed by the very corporation the dispute is against. So you have to go through emotions, and you have to go through the company, and if the company doesn't like it, they're gonna keep it away anyhow. So how Americans are hurt by the fine print.
See, law is so fucking
How's that?
finite and stuff. I mean, like like I can barely read fucking terms of service. It's so fucking lawyery sounding.
Yeah.
Like this shit, just the more in depth that you get with it, the more shit and entangled everything gets. That it's fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's legal. Like that's dangerous. That's completely.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
We need to get a lawyer on the show that can talk to us like we're 5-year-olds
You know,
to explain this shit.
that's a great idea. Oh man, I want to find somebody who knows a thing or two about business lawsuits and how those terms work, because I don't understand how this is legal, like that.
It sounds weird.
It
like,
sounds made
in a
up.
bad way.
It sounds like something a big corporation made up to scare their employees, but no, it's an actual legal thing.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah,
And I'm gonna be honest, I've
Something.
never heard of forced arbitration. In fact, I never heard of arbitration until this whole thing, this whole farfel. Ooh,
I'm sure
boy.
I've heard the word before. I don't know.
I've heard of attrition, but not arbitration. So, man, I feel for anybody who just discovered this because I might have to look at my contract. I don't know what I'm allowed to do. Well, then I work for the government, so they don't really have, I guess, the pleasure of having something like that on us.
Also, I there is a context that could be lost here. Like I'm reading this quote of the only system we have is Hell Week for new hires to make sure they aren't little bitches. and it says he continued trying to fist bump a reporter in the front row. I feel like,
Man,
I don't know. Like, that context sounds like he's just fucking around. Like, that he's just making jokes out of this and whatnot. Like, I maybe none of this is like,
and
maybe it's being taken out of context. Like, they actually are doing stuff where they're not. I don't know.
yeah, like this just solidifies what everybody, all these employees have been saying. Like that pretty much seals the deal with me. It's like, no, this guy's a douche. He doesn't belong in any sense of power, and I could not work there. Man, it's just messed. Ugh. I actually want to find. I've been trying to get in contact with a few Riot employees. I'm still working on it. I was hoping.
I mean, like, stuff like this, what he's saying there, like, that alone doesn't bother me or anything. Because, like, if he's just joking, then fine, he's just joking.
Right, but it's not a time to joke, man. It's like this is
well,
this.
I mean,
no. What I'm saying, like, this is the one time you should open up and be like, all right, man, fucking around in the office, okay, but right now I got to do boss things and explain what's going on.
Well, this is a press conference apparently, so I don't know.
Oh,
like,
they're the worst at press conferences. That's when they're all comfortable and they can fuck around. Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, if this was like some kind of like interview where they're like, so people say that you sexually harass people, then yeah, then it's weird. But if they're just talking off the cuff at a press conference, like, depending on what everything is, all the context and stuff, it seems somewhat harmless.
But man, harmless for everybody else, yes. Harmless for Riot Games, no. I'm sure there's somebody like, fuck, why did we send him out there? We thought he'd be able to charm.
It's kind of like when a couple of years ago when they first announced the Xbox One, and what's his name was like, hey, you don't like it, go get the 360.
Oh my goodness.
It's man. Like, what are you doing? You're fucking setting fires.
Yeah, man. We put you out there for a reason. Don't do this to us.
We know you're leaving and you're quitting to go somewhere else, but Jesus Christ, you don't need a
yeah, don't mess us over, man. Or like when Blizzard was like, you guys don't have phones? Like, come on, what?
Oh God, Jesus.
And that's the problem with these press conferences. They don't think that they have to be as serious. They think they can be charming and fun, which you can. But yeah. Man, sometimes the things that you say.
I mean, to be fair, you know, like the one dude in the audience was saying shitty things during the Q&A. Like, it's like, all right, do that stuff on Twitter, but when you're actually there, show a little bit of respect. Like, you're trying to say something like you're not interested in this or whatever, but you're being really fucking. You are kind of being shitty, and it's like it is going to rub off the wrong way, and maybe that was part of the reason why they kind of got shitty back. Like, you don't got phones.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, we got it, man. You guys are salty that they took one of your favorite game series and put it on a phone, which you don't have to buy, by the way.
Yeah,
you can keep playing the old ones. But I get it. You got excited for a game that you're hoping to come out. It was announced, but it was announced on a phone. But man, yeah, don't get too entitled by that. And for anybody who I've done things in front of people, speeches. I've done Q&As. I've done stuff like that. Man, people get that way, but you gotta keep your cool. You gotta stay professional, and wait until after the press conference to say something shitty. After that, then you can say whatever.
Like I on one hand, yes. On the other hand, I like, because I'm not a professional person. I mean, but like, I don't know. I can't imagine if press conference that I wouldn't say something that might come off shitty to some. I mean, like, all right, like, to be fair, anything you say can be taken shitty. You know, whether you're joking or sarcastic or meaning it, whatever.
Right.
Like, maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't know if the do this said, "Don't you got a phone?" I don't know if he ever like backtracked it out and be like, I was just kidding when I said that. I don't know.
No, he didn't. They didn't.
No, okay.
They stuck with it. They're like, no, everybody has phones. You know, you guys can definitely. It's like, hey man, cut. Don't do this to us. You're gonna do it to us. Okay, never mind. You're doing it.
Yeah.
And
That was a shitty thing to say.
Yeah, they didn't back out, man. They were
And I'm
serious.
not saying that the one dude, like, I don't know. Said I don't know when they said the phone thing compared to other people in the Q&A thing, but like there's that one dude that said something shitty in the audience.
No, the dude, the bald dude with the glasses and the beard. Is that the guy you're talking about? Yeah. He asked him. So. Yeah, he asked him if it was an out of season April Fool's joke.
Oh yes, yeah. I remember he said something shitty, but I couldn't remember what he said. But yes, that's.
Yeah, he asked if it was.
And I wasn't sure if it was after that or even response to that or before when they said the thing about the phones.
I want to say it was after.
I want to say they were booing when they first announced. They're like, and it's going to be on mobile, and everyone was. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, everybody definitely. No, he asked that question after the whole mobile thing because everybody booed, and the guys on stage they had a nervous laugh. They're like, "Come on, you guys don't have phones." And everyone's just like, what? What? And yeah, so that became a meme. The guy became some unsung hero. That was a cluster. But
I mean, I yeah, like people were like, kind of like, yeah, this guy, and I'm like, no, he's a dick too.
Yeah, but man,
like, I could understand saying something like that in response on Twitter or something because that's what Twitter's for. But like,
you use
I don't know. Like, if I was there, I mean, I could see myself saying something shitty to them over Twitter. But being there, like, and it's not like some kind of like intimidation thing or anything like that, or like, oh, I'm a keyboard warrior or anything. It's just like I would want to show them some respect. You know, that they're getting up there on stage and shit in front of a bunch of people and talking about this stuff. Like,
for something
like it's I'm fine with the booing and stuff, but to fucking ridicule them, it's like, yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, not to mention, like, I also said at the time, like, who knows, maybe this wasn't even this dude's idea. Maybe he was like, he was one of the people that was like, I don't think this is a good idea to put it on the fucking phone. They're not going to want it.
Yeah, that's definitely a board game. I mean, not like a board game, but like somebody from the board was like, hey, what do we have that's super popular? Oh, well, we have these IPs. When was the last time we did something with this IP? Oh, it's been a few years. Hey, see if this game is trending or what kind of game is trending. And they see how much people still love what's the game? What's it called?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it too. Because,
Candy Crush?
Oh, yeah, Diablo. It's like, hey, Diablo is still very popular, and EA just released Command and Conquer on mobile, which people booed too. So I don't know why you thought that was gonna work.
I mean, like there are.
It was definitely someone who doesn't play video games, some corporate number crushing leader who was like,
yeah,
hey.
They saw statistics of mobile phone gaming, and they're like, we need to get in on this.
Yeah, and they're like, what do we have?
And to a point, I understand it because you're just leaving money on the table.
You really are
in some aspect,
and you can
it makes sense.
Yeah, and you can have both. You can have a Diablo game on PC and Diablo game on mobile, and I think that's where most of the ridicule came from. That they announced nothing about a PC version, but man, I feel bad for those guys on stage. It's like, look, man, we work at this company. They say to make this. We try to make it the best we can.
Yeah.
But Riot Games does not get that luxury. Riot Games is just filled with dickheads who have no respect for their own employees for no real reason. Just because they're the boss. Because they're the heads. They can do whatever they want.
I'm definitely going to have to like look into this more... to really get an idea of what the fuck they were thinking, because like on this surface level of what we're talking about from these articles, it seems like it's really insane. Like someone brought up in my chat, like they can't imagine CEOs saying shit like this, and it's like, it seems surreal that they're like I mean, this is like digging in on the opposite end of political correctness and shit. Like, it's like you're being accused of being sexually harassing people. Like, that's fucking extremely gay, bruh. It's like,
don't be a pussy, brah. Don't be gay, brah. It's just jokes, brah. It's like, no, dude. What the? I'm sitting here trying to program that you have me here for 30 hours and you're just gonna fart on me. I'm not here for this, man.
Fucking yeah.
Come on, bro. Just quick nut tap, bro. Come on, bro. I was like, man, you fucking touch me one more time. You and I are gonna have problems. And you know what? Because of that force, what was it? I forgot the name of it now. Arbitration.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck none of that word.
Arbitration.
Arbitration.
Yeah, arbitration. Because of that, these employees, they're stuck. You either get fired, and of course, with these guys being high rollers, your name is gonna spread around the industry, and somebody's gonna be like, "Yo, don't hire this guy. They're quick to accuse stuff, and you know, you get to another job and they're like, oh, this person."
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, like that's always a possibility. This industry is hard to get into, and it's hard to stay in because you can easily be replaced.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. Heck, Capcom, no, not Capcom. Konami proved that when they got rid of Kojima. It's like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Peace. We don't really need you. So, I think that's it. I think that's everything.
I want to talk about fucking Thor.
All right. Well, yeah, it's the ban has been lifted as of this week. So.
Yeah, I mean,
all right. So we can talk about
spoilers to a point. Like, I don't want to get into. I don't want to spoilers or anything like that.
All right.
But there's something that happens in game with Thor that I have a question about, and maybe you can answer it. Maybe anyone else listening can answer it, or whatever. I don't care. I just want to talk about it.
Ooh, I'll try my best. Go ahead.
All right. So, spoiler alerts for Endgame. There is spoilers for the movie in general. Anyone? Now's the time to leave. All right. So Thor and Rocket go. Okay, the movie has time travel. They split up into 3 groups and they go time traveling.
All right.
Thor teams up with Rocket and they go to Asgard back during the Thor.
Pretty sure it was Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World. So, like, whatever year that is supposed to happen in the MCU. And, like, Thor, he talks to his mom, because she's still alive at that point. This is before she dies in the movie Dark World. And he has a nice conversation with her and everything. And then Rocket is, like... The whole thing was, him and Rocket were going there to get one of the Infinity Stones that was in Natalie Portman's character. Can't remember her name.
Jane.
Jane, yes. Jane Foster, I believe.
Yeah. They went. I think it was the Reality Stone.
Maybe, yeah. It's the red one in the movie. Like, I know that the color in the movie compared to the comics. So
I know the colors.
Yeah, like, I just know it was the red one. And I know the time one is green in the movies. And that's about it. Okay, so they go back to get the stone that is somehow, like, imbued with... into the body of Jane or something like that.
It was because of the red mist. It got inside of her.
It's been a long time since I've seen Dark World, so I don't remember exactly how stuff worked. And like, even when watching the movie, I was kind of like, I vaguely remember this stuff.
Right.
All right. So they go back to Asgard during the time of the Dark World to get the stone out of Jane Foster. And so Rocket's going and doing that while Thor's talking to his mom, because this is Thor from now. So he's like, my mom's dead. I get to have this moment with her. Really nice moment, whatever.
Yeah.
Just before they leave to go back, he calls for Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Or Mjolnir, whatever.
Mjolnir.
And he takes it and goes into the future.
Right.
So what the fuck is Thor in Dark World supposed to do now that he doesn't have an...
Well, okay, so at the end of the movie, when Steve Rogers goes back, he takes Mjolnir back with him. So technically, technically Mjolnir never left.
Okay, or you know what? Now that you say that, all right, because I remember him having it with him, but I was thinking he was having it with him as a weapon because, spoiler alerts, Steve Rogers, Captain America, is now able to wield Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
So okay, that would make sense if that's what he was doing. He was taking the stone and bringing it back, and also dropping off the hammer.
Yeah, taking it back to before Thor took it.
Okay, that makes okay.
Yeah, just to see if he was still worthy, because his confidence was gone. Poor bastard.
Yeah, because like I was really questioning that. I was like
Yeah, because it was
you know,
screw up
like
a lot.
my thought process that he was. I remember, you know, they made sure to show that the hammer was with Captain America when he was going back in time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't thinking about it as he was taking it back to take back, because, you know, all right, so like the idea was that Steve Rogers, Captain America, was going back in time to the exact moments that they all took the stones, to put the stones back where they took them from, basically,
Yeah.
so that they wouldn't supposedly fuck up the timeline, which apparently they still did. But so like that would make sense that he also, when dropping off the stone, I don't know, I guess putting it back in Jane. Oh God, I'm gonna put it back in her. Hashtag me too.
I'm sure they had a way to deconstruct it or something, or maybe he just, it's like, instead of putting it back where it was before, he just put it to where they can get to it. I honestly don't know.
I see. You're still fucking up time. Then you're still.
Yeah. That one I don't really get how they pulled that one off.
I mean, to be fair, they left all of that out. Like they just showed like, oh God, spoiler alerts for the very ending of Endgame, with Captain America going back in time to bring back the stones. He stays in the past and becomes an old man.
Right.
So, and they just cut all that. They don't show any of that stuff. So we don't know anything of the time stone or anything like that getting put back into their places. So who knows how they put the stone back into Jane.
I think that maybe it returns back to his form from the time that it's there.
Or maybe maybe they just didn't show it, but maybe he used the same tool that Rocket did get it. He used the tool to put it back. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's hard to say. I mean, 'cause she was like just laying around sleeping or whatever, and so he could have just went back in time to where she was sleeping. Sleeping.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I wish they did a short about that. That'd be fun to watch.
I don't know why. I mean, well, first of all, the movie's 3 hours long, so that could be part of why they didn't show it. But also, things that are happening, like with Spider-Man Far From Home. Like, people are speculating stuff that, you know, I don't know if you watched the trailer for it or anything.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, you know, like, okay, so when Mysterio was like, you guys fucked up, you know, like, you made an alternate universe and different times. Now, people are speculating that he's just completely lying.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he is, because it's Mysterio. You can't trust anything he says.
So, like...
I would trust the Green Goblin before I trusted him. Because
I wish it was the Green Goblin.
Yeah, if the Green Goblin was going to kill you...
I don't like Mysterio. I find him a dumb character because he was just... illusions.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes him great. Like, he's more mind games. Like, he's the Spider-Man version of like a watered down Joker. Like, he doesn't kill anybody, but he fucks with people because I'm smart enough.
I would have thought more of like a Scarecrow.
Yeah. Okay. You know. Yeah.
Like illusion
that's
type stuff.
Yeah, that's way better. I'm going with that. He's like Spider-Man version of Scarecrow. He doesn't bark in your fears. He just shows that he's better than everybody else. He's like, you know, you're too dumb. So here's some smoke and mirrors.
I mean, but like, yeah, like just I don't like care for Scarecrow too much either because of that same thing of like.
But he's a con man, and that makes him great. Like, he's a regular human being.
He's fine. Those things are fine. But like when it comes down to the idea of fighting, like I didn't like.
I think that's why I like
Batman Arkham Knight. I didn't like, you know, like, or any of the when he gets poisoned by Scarecrow. I don't like fighting fake shit that's not there. Like, it's...
as he says, he fights fake virtual people in a video game.
Yeah, true. I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, because it just feels like you're padding stuff out when it's like it's an illusion. It's like, come on, just give me an actual, like, if something happens, it has some stake in it, rather than, oh, you're awake now.
Yeah. For instance, like in the Spider-Man trailer, they show these giant like fire things and water things or whatever. Just like first of all, I'm like, I don't like Spider-Man getting into these fights where the things are too big. Like, Spider-Man's a very strong character and stuff. I think people underrate him on his strength. the dude could pick up a fucking bus over his head and throw it.
Yeah,
but like things can get too big, and with those elemental look trailer, I'm like, they're just illusions, right?
Right. I hope they're just illusions. But even with like Sandman, when villains are too big, that Spider-Man can't just like punch in the face and knock him out. He finds clever ways of stopping them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use water. Okay, what can stop sand? What can stop him without actually killing him? How do you slow down somebody who can fly at the speed of a jet? Like and I think that's what makes Spider-Man one of my favorite characters. Like,
yeah, he's a brilliant character, like just his IQ and stuff. Yeah, and that's cool to see him do this stuff. It's the same with Batman too.
Right. And you know, that's what I'm saying. I like Batman because he uses detective work, and I like Spider-Man because he uses science a lot of the times, science and physics to help him fight. Like, yeah, he has all that strength and speed and all that cool powers, but he still relies on like his more human elements of caring about people, even if they're the villains, and not just I'm not gonna kill you because I'm better than you. It's like, no, dude, I just want to stop you, man. You're being a dick. Yeah. And that's really what I really like about Spider-Man. Like, he gets so tired of fighting the same villains over and over again. Like, he even comments like, "How many times we got to do this, man? When are you gonna learn? Shocker, just stop. You beat me once, and I figured out how to stop you. Please stop." It's like, I'm gonna get my revenge. Oh my goodness, I wish this guy would just get life. Like, yeah, that's what I like about Spider-Man. He actually gets tired of his villains. Everybody else is like, I see your back. I'm like, not Spider-Man. She's like, dude, I just want some pizza. Please leave me alone. Please go away.
Right, yeah.
Like, can I have a regular? I mean,
Spider-Man is my second favorite character of comic book. I mean, Captain America being the first. And like that's a big part of why. I mean, he's a very humanized person.
Yeah.
Like, he is super powerful. I mean, that's why, like, I don't want to get into any talks about verses, but like one of the big ones I've seen with people that they're like Wolverine versus Spider-Man. I'm like, Spider-Man would win.
Yeah,
like, he's strong. Like don't get me wrong, Wolverine's a badass, super strong and stuff like that. But like, he can't lift a fucking bus over his head. Yeah. Spider-Man can.
Yeah, and plus, Spider-Man beat the Hulk not through strength, but he made Hulk laugh to the point to where he turned back into Bruce Banner. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he calmed Hulk down. Like, even Hulk couldn't take Spider-Man as a serious threat to where because all of Hulk's strength comes from his anger. No anger, no Hulk. And Spidey found a way to calm him down, and like, he annoyed him, but more annoyance than angry, to the point to where Hulk was just like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like, I forget this guy. And just turn back into Bruce. It's like, that's how you win. That's awesome.
That's clever. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Like that, being able to defeat the Hawk that way.
Yeah, like, you can't, because Peter knew he couldn't beat him with strength. It's like, are you kidding me? I go up against Hulk and I die. Like, I would literally be killed by Hulk. It was like, well, next best thing. Use his sense of humor and his brain. So like, yeah, when people are like, oh, you just like Spider-Man because he's mainstream. It's like, no, dude, Spider-Man.
He's mainstream because he's such a great character.
Yeah, even if you've never been bullied, even if you're not very smart, you can still identify with Peter because he has real world struggles, and it's not like, oh, Uncle Ben died. Yeah, he carries that with him, but he's not like Batman brooding all the time, constantly reminding people, my Uncle Ben.
Sure, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, if my argument to that would be like, they're two different people. Like,
no, they are, and right, and
I'm not saying that that's where you were coming from with that.
No. Like I said, I like Batman because Batman is this cool, clever, unpowered superhero, and Spidey, he has the superpowers, but he's more human.
Yeah,
and that's what makes these characters so great. And Thor, even though he's a god of thunder, he's still somewhat kind of an ignorant human in a way. And I think that's why I like Marvel characters, because they seem human no matter how powerful they are.
I feel like Marvel always was a lot better at fleshing out their characters.
Right.
I mean, like, you look at like like X-Men, like the whole thing of humans versus mutants and the the hatred that's there, the what's the word I'm looking for? The
Prejudice.
prejudice. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that is there. You know, like that's something that's much deeper than you would ever. I would from DC characters and or anything like that. I mean,
I
they've
know,
always been like more layered.
yeah, I know they tried that with Bunker or Buster. I forgot the
I have no
character
idea
name.
what you're talking about.
It's one of the DC characters. He's like this gay Latino character. I think he's Latino. I'm not sure.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, they tried to play that. They tried to play that whole angle up and show people being prejudiced against him.
See, that's ridiculous to me. Like
Well,
that's
well,
something I can't stand with
well,
comic books or anything for that matter.
Well, that was the fun part. Like, at one point, Buster assumed somebody didn't like him because he was gay, but someone's like, "No, dude, that's not. I don't care about that. It's because of this thing." So,
Fair enough.
yeah. So like, they don't go full blown. See, we can be woke and cool. It's like, no, dude. Sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes people just don't like you.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they go that route at times. And like one time somebody didn't like him because he had superpowers and they found it unnatural. It was like, because I'm gay? No, dude, because you're a freak. I don't care about that. My great uncle's probably gay. I don't care, dude. You're going around making stuff out of nothing. That's unnatural.
It's like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of. I recently, like, in March, Die Hard 3, and there's a point where Samuel L. Jackson says something like, "Oh, it's because I'm black," and he's like, "No, because you're an asshole. That's why."
You're an asshole who just happens to be black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always liked stuff like that when people are like, "Oh, it's because of this." No, I really don't care. Now you're just being a double asshole.
If you want to touch on that stuff in either aspect, it's just like, but like, I don't like the idea of like, oh, we made this character gay and Latino, so now we're gonna have everyone treat him like shit. And be racist and homophobic
out of nowhere.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, but luckily DC didn't go that route, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that'll be one episode. We'll just do comic books and characters and stuff. And seeing how comic movies, there's a lot of them out there now, so we can talk about those. So, you have any? Ooh, we're actually closing on the 2-hour mark. This actually went 30 minutes longer than we thought it would.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I just looked at the time.
All right. So yeah, any closing comments you got?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either. Just remember, folks. As of this recording, this Friday, May 10th, this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. So we had to do this episode early because we had weekend stuff going on. I'm doing stuff with my mom this weekend, and you're gonna be busy with personal things as well.
Yeah, my girlfriend's coming into town tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, so that's your weekend. It's over. It's
my whole week.
Oh, she's gonna be here for the whole week. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying like there's a chance that I won't be able to do it next Saturday.
Hey, no, do it next Saturday and bring her on. She could be our first guest.
Maybe I'll ask her if she wants to.
Yeah, do that. And she'll have the honor of being the first guest of this shallow podcast. Live talk show. Actually, it's both. It's a talk show and a podcast because.
Well, podcasts are talk shows. Well, usually.
Well, we're doing this live, so I think that counts more.
Yeah,
I think that counts more. Since I don't know how that internet live podcast. There you go.
I'm not gonna split hairs on it.
Yeah, live podcast. There you go.
Yeah.
We just call it that. Well, yeah, man. See if she'll come on, and that'll be our first guest.
Yeah, I'll ask her about it, see if she wants to, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good to me. All right. Well, I'm outsies. Man, Shawn, we actually have to find out an outro. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, probably something we should work on, maybe.
Yeah, we should do an outro.
Like usually when I live stream, all I do is I just thank the people that may have followed or rated or whatever, gave bits or whatever to during my live stream.
Ooh, not me. I just cut off. I'm like, that's it for me. Bye. It's like, wow.
Work on that. I don't know. Like, look, everyone has their own. They do things like that's just.
No,
at some point in time, that became the thing that I did, and I've stuck with it since then.
yeah, I mostly did because like I'd have like one person come in. I'm like, oh, they're actually watching my whole stream, and then I just remember it's because I have a buddy who auto hosts me. I was like, oh, never mind, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, like I still like if I get a as far as I know, they no longer announce when there's an auto host. But when they used to do that, I would still thank the person whether they were there or not, just to show my appreciation for them at least having me on their.
Yeah.
But like my friend Brandon just pointed out that Sekiro. I've been playing that on Fridays, and this past Friday, I just ended the stream. I got so to the point where I was just so pissed off with that game that I was like, all right, I'm done for the night. Bye, and just shut everything off.
I think that's what people love. I'm sure that's one time people's like, oh, I can't wait for them to come back on and rage quit again. Yeah, we have to work in that outro. All right, we're 30 seconds away from 2 hours. So, all right, well, that's it for me. I'm gonna let you prepare for.
Thank you, Brad.
For your weekend. What?
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was supposed to push. I have a push to mute so I can talk to my chat.
Okay, all right.
My bad.
See, I don't have anybody in my chat, so I'm lonely.
I'm in your chat.
What? That doesn't count. You're talking to me.
Hey, I'm someone. Don't dehumanize me.
I mean, yeah, you're a co-host. You're part of this already. It doesn't. I'm sorry. That's like, I don't know, like if you get $1 and I get $1 and I give you $1 and you give me $1. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's pretty much the same dollar. so no, it does not count.
It counts. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. All right. Well,
How dare you dehumanize me?
I guess it is a different dollar.
Humanize my existence.
Pockets. All right. Oh man. Oh, well, we've officially hit 2 hours, which future episodes will not be like this. We're going to keep it to an hour and a half. Try to.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. This is actually a pretty good first episode. We got through it pretty nicely. Oh well. Well, everybody, that's it for me. For reals this time. What about you, Shawn?
Yeah, I'm out too. Thank you everyone for stopping by and hanging out.
Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Take it easy.
Hey, peace.